I'm Jordan Gideon, your host today, and we are here to test out new champion Bard, the Wandering Caretaker, with his Elderwood skin. Hello everyone, welcome to our new playthrough of Elderwood Bard, the Wandering Caretaker. So currently today I have the Elderwood skin. The skin is complete itself, but he currently does not have a splash that has been released. So, let's just start off by going through Bard's passive. Chimes will periodically spawn throughout the map. These are just completely random, and with Elderwood Bard skin they look like stalks of wood. With the regular one they look like little capsules, like seen in the icon. What this does, first off, one portion is that he gains a Meep follower who will enhance his next auto attack. What these Meeps do, whether it goes up to splash damage or it just does basic damage, bonus magic damage with the attack, depends on how many chimes he's collected and what level he is. So this right here is one of Bard's chimes in the Elderwood skin form. When he walks over it, he will gain a percentage of mana back. He can collect multiple of these. He will also gain multiple movement speed, stacking up to 4 times. Bard's Q, Cosmic Binding, shoots a skill shot. Alright, so what happens is Bard will fire a skill shot. The first enemy that it hits will be slowed. If it hits a second enemy or terrain, both enemies will become stunned. As you can see, it hit both enemies, both the minions became stunned. However, like I said, if it only hits one enemy, only that one enemy will be slowed a small percentage. That basic attack enhancement you cited bonus magic damage because of the Meep. Next up is Bard's W. He will place a Caretaker shrine on the map, which will only be destroyed by an ally stepping over it and gaining its effects, or by an enemy stepping over it to destroy it. Over time, this shrine will gain power in basically how much HP it heals you, up to a certain level, which is when it will turn into a snowflake, or in the other case of the regular skin. Now, what next is if you step over it, you'll gain bonus movement speed, regenerate HP, and you can have up to 3 of those shrines at one time. As you go throughout the game, you will need to collect multiple chimes. Now, Bard being a supporting champion, it will be up to the AD carry to remain safe in a 2v1 lane for a good portion of the game. However, when he returns to lane, he can easily leave behind a couple Caretaker shrines for the AD carry to use at their own need. Bard's E is Magical Journey, which is a one-way passage that Bard can create, can be used both by enemies and allies. One thing to note about Bard's E is that he can fire it from a long distance, and it will always go all the way through the terrain, meaning that as long as just the tip can reach the end of the terrain, the beginning of the terrain, he can cast his passage. So that means he can go over some pretty long distances, although it will take a much longer time as he goes through. The passage can be used multiple times, and you will receive a small arrow indicator to where the passage is. One thing to note about the passage, as seen in the description, you will travel 10% faster than enemies, and this increases as you level up the ability. But this will mean that you do not have a true escape. Your enemies can follow you. One thing that I like to know is that this passive can also bridge certain gaps, like the Baron buff, and it will go all the way to the other side, so you can safely pass a Baron fight. The way to go through this is to right-click anywhere on the passage, and you will make it all the way through. One thing to know is that if enemy champions follow you, you can use your Q against another piece of terrain, and that should be, if you hit it correctly, will stun them. Bard's ultimate is Tempered Fate. He fires a skill shot into this ring, and if you'll notice on the lower right-hand corner, this has quite the range. We are on Howling Abyss due to the level advantage. And so you will notice that the ultimate, basically, simply put, casts a Zonia's effect on anything in the radius, from allies, enemies, and even minions, and even Baron or Dragon. Now, this can have a positive effect if you're trying to siege the enemy or stop a team fight so your team can get away. But if you get your team caught in it, you too will be Zonia. Thank you for joining me today on the League of Legends PvE preview of Bard, the Wandering Caretaker with the Elderwood Bard skin.